Unethical journalism sucks. That's a direct quote from me. Yes, unethical journalism sucks. So do unethical journalists. Unfortunately, both exist and cause harm. What does it mean to be an unethical journalist? What is unethical journalism? Let's work on developing answers to those important questions by running through the major pitfalls of unethical journalism. Accuracy. Accuracy in journalism is the central core commitment to reporting verifiable facts, validating them, then presenting them as precisely as possible. A true commitment to accuracy involves thorough fact-checking, sourcing, and the responsible presentation of information. Accuracy also relies on the journalistic method, a layered, multi-tiered pre-publication scrutiny to relentlessly challenge our work at every stage. Accuracy builds trust with your audience and supports informed public discourse. It requires journalists and organizations to continually verify information before publication, correct errors promptly, and distinguish clearly between verified facts, assertions, and opinions. A strong argument can be made that accuracy is the only journalistic principle which actually governs ethical behavior. The argument goes like this: if you look at all the remaining principles, violations of each of them represents a breakdown of accuracy, deliberate or otherwise. Fabrication. Fabrication in journalism is when you make shit up, then report it. Anything. Any material that was not said, produced, or generated authentically by a source, yet reported as authentic, is a fabrication and a serious breach of your responsibility as a journalist to cover authentic reporting with your audience. Fabrication can manifest itself in many ways: inventing data, quotes, or entire events, and then presenting them as truth. This breaches the core of journalistic principle of truthfulness and significantly erodes public trust in the media. To uphold ethical standards, journalists must ensure that all reported content is based on real events and verified information. Major news organizations, particularly magazines, have historically utilized a thorough fact-checking process, particularly on major stories with significant potential impact, to validate every fact, source, quote, and data point. This kind of comprehensive fact-checking is expensive, time-consuming, and is becoming a relic of journalism's more well-funded and well-staffed recent past. Nevertheless, the journalistic process in place at responsible news publications must include both constant and directed review of reported information, sources, and corroborating materials. The bigger the story, the stronger the validation or corroboration must be. Without a formal fact-checking layer, your work as a journalist should always include the collection and possession of materials needed to validate all information in your work. Documents, notes, web links, audio and video recordings, with permissions of all parties, and other materials should be retained and available for your own scrutiny or by collaborators as part of the pre-publication journalistic process. Plagiarism. Plagiarism is using another's work or ideas without proper attribution and passing them off as one's own. In journalism, this is a serious ethical violation that undermines the credibility of the journalist and their publication. Ethical journalism practices require original reporting and the explicit crediting of sources for quotations, ideas, and data not generated by the reporter or stolen from someone else. Conflicts of interest. Conflicts of interest in journalism occur when personal interests or relationships influence or appear to influence the impartiality or objectivity of coverage. Journalists should disclose any potential conflicts to their editors or audience and dig depths to avoid situations where personal gain could be prioritized over ethical reporting. Transparency is vital to maintaining trust and integrity within journalistic work. Fairness. Fairness involves presenting news in an unbiased and equitable manner while providing all relevant, credible voices a fair opportunity to be heard. This principle discourages the presentation of information in a way that unjustly favors one side over another. Fair reporting practices include balancing different viewpoints, avoiding undue sensationalism, and reporting with empathy and respect for all subjects involved. Inclusivity. Inclusivity reflects a fundamental commitment to covering diverse communities and viewpoints, particularly those marginalized in mainstream media. It challenges the journalist to seek out and include a variety of perspectives, ensuring that all community voices are represented. This approach enriches the storytelling process, fosters greater community engagement, and promotes a more comprehensive portrayal of society. Privacy. Privacy in journalism concerns respecting the personal information, identities, or participation of individuals featured in news reporting. While public interest can justify certain intrusions into individuals' otherwise private lives, journalists must balance the need for the public to know with respect for individual privacy rights. Ethical considerations include minimizing harm by protecting the identity of vulnerable sources and by respecting the boundaries of private individuals who may inadvertently become part of a news story. By applying these journalism ethical principles to our work, we can ensure our accurate portrayal of our world and a greater trust in news and journalists moving forward in our communities.